Hey folks, in this video I want to quickly show you guys how you can consistently pinpoint the absolute worst possible spot to buy any given stock, currency, index, commodity, what have you. And that's important because so many people do so. Just last week we had a lot of people asking us, should they buy Square, which literally just as of today, yesterday dropped 16%. So what I'm going to show you guys here is a proprietary way that I've now been using for a long time and tested, that we consistently find these spots where it's the absolute worst spot to buy a stock or whatever the asset might be. And in fact, it's a really good chance to put on a short side trade or at least a sideways strategy if you want to use options. I use what is called the TST Vertical Expert indicator, and let me quickly explain. So basically, it's all based on the concept of slopes that go from steep to vertical, but there's a very specific calculation behind what constitutes that such a severe state of overbought. So look at, for example, Intel here. This is, as you can see, this just happened a few weeks ago. We had these blue arrows print. Once the blue arrows stop printing, you have that signal you need to either short the asset or maybe at the very least not buy it then, which from a risk management perspective, a lot of my institutional clients, this is what they like to use it for. I mean, the more sort of quicker investors, they like to actually put on shorts there or do options trades. So that's what it is. We have the scanner, couple of scanners that we've programmed. It's available for Thinkorswim, TradeStation, NinjaTrader. The way it works is very simple. You get these blue arrows. Again, once they stop printing, you have an opportunity. So let's look at, for example, Microsoft. This is also just a couple of weeks ago. You can see once the arrows stop printing, again, we're not saying the stock has to fall apart, but it most likely won't go higher. So it's like a stupid spot to buy the stock for right that moment. How about, for example, look at Amgen. This just happened a couple months ago when Amgen got that signal. And it goes on and on and on. So look at, if you look at, for example, Square, right? This is what just happened last week. We had a signal here, but then a stock report earnings a couple of days later. So you would never take that signal. But once it got to the point here, this is just last week, once the blue arrow stopped printing, it is extremely overbought. So you have an opportunity to short the stock or at least do sideways strategies if you want to do option selling or whatever you might want to do, or at least don't buy the stock there, guys. Do not buy it at that point, okay? Wait for it to confirm base and maybe go higher again. And the funny thing is, a lot of times what happens is this kind of thing. Maybe not that severely. This is a 16% drop in one day, but a lot of times you get rewarded for being smart and waiting for this signal. So right now, there's two stocks I'm going to quickly show you guys that are setting up. One of them is DE or John Deere. This one right now is still printing blue arrows. Once it stops printing blue arrows, I think there'll be a beautiful opportunity to do either a sideways strategy or at least don't buy it here, okay? And maybe even, short the stock for a small trade. And the other one that we're looking at, it just came up on the scanner, is MRVL, which is Marvell. You can see here, same principle. You got a signal here, but you got to wait for earnings to come out. So now we're waiting for earnings to come out. You don't want to use this like a week before earnings. Wait for earnings to come out. And once earnings are out now, we're going to see if we can get a trade since these blue arrows have now stopped printing. A wonderful opportunity to generate some income, to generate near-term profits in the market when things are extremely overbought and you get this. So that's my way of finding opportunities on either the short side for trades or at least to make sure I don't buy things at the exact possible worst spot. If you're interested in TST Vertical Expert Indicator Scanner, you can leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.